Hello, my dear students. Welcome to lecture number 14 on light reflection and refraction. In the last lecture, we studied these points. The transparent media for refraction that should be either rarer or denser. So, transparent media for refraction of light that should be either rarer or denser. Similarly, we have when the ray of light travels from rarer to denser medium, that is from air to water or glass, the angle of incidence I is greater than angle of incidence I is greater than angle of refraction R. When the ray is traveling from a denser to rarer, that is from water or glass to air, the angle of incidence is smaller than angle of refraction R. When the light is passing from one medium to another, its speed changes, which causes the refraction of light. When the ray of light passed through the glass slab, it deviates twice. When you pass the ray of light through a glass slab, it deviates twice and hence leaving the incident ray and emergent ray. Incident ray and emergent ray are parallel. Hence, we can see the double refraction in that case. So, these are the points which I have discussed in the last lecture. In today's lecture, we will begin the next part, that is laws of refraction. So, we are understanding the next part, that is laws of refraction. So, the first law, incident ray normal drawn to the transparent surface at the point of incidence and refracted ray all are lying on the same plane. Assume this is the transparent surface. We called it as interface I or boundary I. So this is the normal. When the ray of light which is incident on the interface or transparent surface, it should deviate like this. So here what the first law suggests, that the incident ray I and the normal drawn to the transparent surface here and refracted ray R all are lying on the same plane. They are all are lying on the same plane. So this is similar to laws of reflection part, where the incident ray, normal drawn and reflected ray all are lying on the same plane. Similarly, here also incident ray, normal drawn and refracted ray this time all are lying on the same plane. This is the first law. Second law, that is called as Snell's law. It is called as Snell's law because the scientist Snell who derived this law, and hence the name Snell's law. It is stating that the ratio of sine of incident angle, which means sine angle of incidence, to the sine of refracted angle, means sine of refracted angle, their ratio is a constant. He says that the ratio of sine angle of incidence to the sine angle of refraction is a constant. Therefore, you can write sine I divided by sine R, which is equal to a constant. It is taken as n. So, second law states that sine angle of incidence or sine of incident angle to the sine angle of refraction or sine of refracted angle, means if you are taking, this is the angle I, actually this is angle R, incident angle I, refracted angle R. So the sine of these two, okay, sine angle of I divided by sine angle of R, which is equal to a constant, that is n. I hope you got these two laws correctly. So the next part, that will be a refractive index. We have already learned that a ray of light travels from one transparent medium will change its direction in the second medium. We already know that when the ray of light is traveling from one medium to another, it deviates. Generally, the deviation takes place in the medium number 2, whether it is moving from rarer to denser or denser to rarer, the direction will change in the second medium. Okay, the extent of the change in the direction, that takes place in given pair of media expressed in terms of refractive index. So the change in the direction that takes place for the given pair of media, that will be expressed, the change in the direction that is expressed in terms of refractive index, that is the constant appeared in the second law. So we expressed in terms of refractive index, which is already appeared in the second law as n here. So that n is taken as refractive index Ri. Okay. The refractive index can be linked to an important physical quantity. We call refractive index as an important physical quantity, that is relative speed of propagation of light in different media. So it is the relative speed of propagation of light in different media. How the light propagates in medium 1 and medium 2. So that is the relative speed, means with respect to first medium, the speed of propagation of light in first medium with respect to second. So that is the relative speed of propagation of light in different media. It turns out that light propagates with different speeds in different media. In doing so, we found that the light which is propagating in such media, it is different. Okay, the speeds of the speed of light in one medium is different in the other. Okay, if you are taking water from air, that is different. If you are taking glass to air or air to glass, that is different. So it is turned out that the light propagates in different ways, or different speeds you call, in different media. Okay, for adding further point to that, the light travels faster in vacuum. Actually, light travels fastest, in fact, in vacuum with a speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. This is the speed of light in vacuum. In air, the speed of light, which is marginally less in comparison with vacuum, which is marginally less, but for practical purposes, we consider the speed of light in air is equal to speed of light in vacuum. In practical purposes, we consider it will not change too much from vacuum to air. Therefore, since it is marginally less, and hence we are considering which is equal for the practical purposes. Okay, the speed which is going to reduce considerably in a denser medium like glass or water. So what I mean to say is, the light which is traveling fast, very much fast, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second in vacuum, and marginally less in air, and which is going to reduce further considerably. Okay, so that is in denser medium like glass or water. So which is indicating that the speed in such cases are going to change, which are different from one medium to another. Okay, so that is expressed in terms of refractive index. Okay, I hope you are getting all these points correctly. So here I am defining the term called refractive index, which is taken as absolute refractive index. We are calling refractive index here absolute because we have one more term, that is relative refractive index. That will be the next part actually. So I'm going to define absolute refractive index first, and later we will go to the relative refractive index. So refractive index is also same, absolute refractive index is also same. The definitions of both are same. Okay, here I am going to define first absolute refractive index. The ratio of speed of light in vacuum or air to the speed of light in the medium, such as the practical medium as glass or water, like that, or you call it as a reference medium. The ratio of speed of light in vacuum or air with respect to speed of light in the reference medium, such as glass or water, that is known as absolute refractive index. Okay, it is denoted by the letter small n. Okay, absolute refractive index is given by n. Now it is given by n is equal to speed of light in air or vacuum divided by speed of light in the reference medium, as I discussed earlier. So speed of light in air is, in practical purposes, as I already said, that speed of light in vacuum is considered as equal to the speed of light in air. Therefore I am keeping that c, the speed of light in vacuum, taken as air, as it is c, divided by v, the speed of light in the reference medium. Therefore you can write n is equal to c by v. This is the formula used to calculate the absolute refractive index. Okay, since it is the ratio, it has no unit. Remember, this is the ratio and hence it has no units. So take care of that also. So that is about so that is about absolute refractive index. Now I am going to add one more definition, that is relative refractive index. So I am going to define relative refractive index in two different ways. So stick to any one of these definitions. Okay, so first definition, when the light is passed through medium 1 to medium 2, when the light is passed through medium 1 to medium 2, then we define relative refractive index as the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 is known as relative refractive index. So when the light is passed through medium 1 to medium 2, the refractive index of medium 2 to medium 1 is taken as relative refractive index. Here medium 2 and medium 1 are again like air or water or glass, like that. Okay, so that is denoted by n to 1. So which means the refractive index is with respect to 2 to 1, but it is given by speed of light in medium 1 divided by speed of light in medium 2. There is a chance of confusion here, medium 1 to 2 or 2 to 1. So try to understand where the light is moving. Okay, so it is whether from medium 1 to medium 2 or medium 2 to medium 1. So take care of that. So here I mentioned when the light is passed through medium 1 to medium 2. So refractive index is taken as 2 to 1. So refractive index of medium 2 to 1, then it is known as relative refractive index. So that is given by n to 1. Refractive index is given by 2 to 1, but the speed of light remains as it is, that is from medium 1 to medium 2. So this is the first definition. And if you want to add a point here, if v1 be the speed of light in medium 1, if v1 be the speed of light in medium 1 and v2 be the speed of light in medium 2, therefore it is given by n 2 to 1, that is 2 1 from medium 2 to medium 1 as refractive index. N is equal to v1 by v2. Here speed of light in medium 1 divided by speed of light in medium 2. So this is the definition number 1 for relative refractive index. So we have another definition. This time the light is passing through medium 2 to medium 1. In first case we have the light which is passing through medium 1 to medium 2. Here when the light is passed through medium 2 to medium 1, then the refractive index from 1 to 2 this time, that is known as relative refractive index again, no problem. So when the light is passed through medium 2 to medium 1, the refractive index of medium 1 to 2 is taken as relative refractive index, that is given by n12. So n12, which is equal to speed of light in medium 2 divided by speed of light in medium 1. So this is the formula. Again, if you are taking v1 as the speed of light in medium 1 and v2 as the speed of light in medium 2, therefore n2 to 1, sorry, this has to be 1 to 2, I am sorry. So you can write it as n1 to 2, which is equal to v2 by v1. Okay, so this is the formula used to calculate the relative refractive index in second case. I hope you got these two definitions clear. Again, if you have any problems regarding this, take a time to read. If you have any confusions, so please contact through to the Google Classroom. Privately we can chat if you are hesitating to add that into the group. So you have that kind of provision in Google Classroom. Okay, so if you are having any confusion still about the Google Classrooms are concerned, so make use of WhatsApp. By that we can clear the matter to you. Okay, now I am having the table to show the absolute refractive indices for different material medium. Okay, I used refractive indices, that is the plural form of refractive index. So we have so many material media, therefore I am calling those as refractive indices. So for air, that is 1.0003. okay, that is the refractive index for air. For vacuum, that is equal to 1, exactly 1 for vacuum, but as I said that is a slight change in air. Practically both are appears to be same, so we are considering for vacuum 1, for air is also 1. Okay, but specifically if you are taking that is 1.0003. Okay, for ice it is 1.31, for water it is 1.33, for alcohol it is 1.36, and for kerosene it is again increasing slightly, that is 1.44. Fused cars or cars material, that is 1.46. Turpentine oil or benzene, oil for turpentine oil, that is 1.47. For benzene solution, that is 1.50. For crown glass it is 1.52. Canada balsam, that is refractive index is 1.53. For rock salt, the material media is like that only. Okay, we are having different material media here. So for Canada balsam, that is 1.53, rock salt 1.54, carbon disulfide, that is 1.63. For dense flint kind of glass is 1.65. For ruby kind of material you have 1.71. For sapphire it is 1.77. For diamond it is highest, that is 1.42. So this is the table showing. Please do not by heart these things. Do not by heart. These things are not necessary. But what the reason I am bringing this thing, you may get in multiple choice questions or applied part, where we can see where you find refractive index is more. They are giving 2 or 3 options or even 4. You have to find out the highest option or lowest if they ask. Okay, that's the reason why I am bringing this table in. So if I'm asking the same type of question, which material has highest refractive index, if I add air as option A, that dense flint glass as B, and turpentine oil as C, and diamond as 4, you can choose option number 4, because the refractive index for diamond is more for these kind of options. I hope you got the reason why I brought the table here. It doesn't mean that you are going to by heart all those. That's not necessary. They are giving those things in options, so don't worry about that. Okay. So I'm gonna pause here at this point of time with the next part, that is refraction through lenses. With that introduction, I am going to meet you in the next period. Till then, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.